Do you ever get that feeling
I don't know, it's just weird.
that your smartphone might be just a little too smart?
Yes, definitely.
For sure, a lot. Yeah.
Like you're having a conversation,
Sometimes it's just like general stuff.
not even on, but near the phone. And all of a sudden, advertisements related to the subject,
A lot of ads will pop up for sure.
even on your tablets and computer back at home.
When I notice it, I get creeped out and I'll be like, oh, we were just talking about this.
Especially when it's a topic or product you've definitely never searched or purchased.
Me and my friends, we actually tested a lot.
Like what?
Random things. Like I remember one time we actually talked about diapers and an ad for diapers popped up, yeah.
It almost makes you think your phone is spying on you, or at least listening. The experts say that's because it is.
You're being tracked in ways you might not realize.
Cleveland Marshall College of Law professor and director of the Cybersecurity and Privacy Protection Center, Brian Ray, says it often starts when you give apps permission to access the microphone and record audio.
How that gets translated into targeted ads is not completely clear, but there's no question all apps are doing this and doing it at a scale that most of us have no clue about.
And it's completely legal.
The way the law is structured in the U.S. now, for the most part, is you just have to say yes, and that's good enough. That's consent, right? And it may be yes to a whole slew of things,
Like the microphone, camera, contacts.
including reading your text messages, reading your emails.
I know my sister says that she'll just think about something sometimes and it shows up.
There's a reason for that, says Professor Ray.
That's how this data economy works. Different sources of data sell and buy from one another to aggregate this data, analyze it for patterns that then they can send something to you.
Stopping all of the ads and data mining is virtually impossible, but you can minimize it, he says, by reading the privacy policies before downloading and getting rid of apps you don't use.
Clearing your phone of apps that are frivolous. Make sure they're not on there, not live.
Check the apps in your phone settings to see what they're accessing, and pay attention when they're in use.
The ads definitely come up too, especially when I'm listening on like music apps.
If they're happening relatively close in time, then something must have access, right?
He says look at your social media account settings and which apps are tracking you there. Then turn them off. Location tracking too.
Every app asks, can I track your location? And I simply say no. They don't need to know that.
And those that do.
Again, are you going to get rid of Google Maps? Probably not. Are you going to deny it access to the microphone? Probably not. Can you limit that access to the microphone only when the app's on? Yes.
Ultimately outsmarting that smartphone.
Okay.
In Cleveland, Suzanne Stratford, Fox 8 News.